If you're somebody who is maybe feeling a lack of direction and you'd like to look further into your purpose, why you exist, what you really want to do, you're not quite sure, maybe you're thinking about a career change, or maybe you're thinking about, do I double down where I am right now? I'm going to be talking about finding your why in our session today. So welcome to our podcast listeners as well. We are recording this audio and we will drop this on the Talking Business with Kobi Simmat podcast. Podcast is going really well. So if you are a podcast listener, you're watching the video, but you're a podcast listener, I'd encourage you to jump across to your favorite podcast platform, search my name, Kobi Simmat, and our podcast show is called Talking Business with Kobi Simmat. I've got some great guests coming on the show on our podcast over the next couple of weeks. So look out for that. Some great authors that we've been able to connect with. And it's just about trying to align diaries and get those recordings in the bag, which is really exciting. Let's get into talking about finding your why, because that's what we're here to talk about. I'm just going to go back to our why here at Best Practice of what we've worked out. And that is that, you pay us to show up, or you expect us to show up and continue to help your organization to be a great place to work, for you to both enjoy your job, the people around you enjoy their jobs. Not everybody is matched to every organization, and sometimes we don't really consider that. So that's something that we can go on and talk about. So we're here to help organizations to be great places to work, to help your customers have a better buying experience from you each time they transact with you. Your customers are having a great buying experience, but we want to continue to enhance that. So as their expectations move, you want to continue to enhance that. And ultimately then your organization becomes a profitable investment, a great investment for the shareholders, and also valuable for the other interested parties. So whether you've got compliance requirements that you're doing the right thing, whether you've got, legal regulations that you need to comply with, contracts, those kinds of things, that you are a good, valuable investment for some of those stakeholders, but most importantly, profitable. So how do we get there? Well, I did some work about 8 years ago with somebody who helped me to kind of work out what my personal why is. And that's really about, when we boil it right down, I get really enthusiastic and I get my kicks out of seeing people grow, seeing people achieve their goals. I like to see people achieve their goals. For some reason, I'm missing this DNA of jealousy, and I get a huge amount of excitement, and these compliments come out of my mouth automatically saying, hey, great job. You've done really well done on achieving that goal. I'm really excited for you. That is fantastic. And I like being around people who are achieving goals. They're setting goals for themselves. They're making it known and they're achieving them. And they're saying, hey, just achieve this goal. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. That goal might be to be a great mother. It might be to be a great cook. It might be to be a great investor and to make millions of dollars. It might be to buy a fancy sports car. It might be to be a great athlete. I get my kicks about, I like being around people who are focusing on achieving things. I'm not motivated by being around people who are aimlessly wandering through life. I like to be around people that are focused, and that I want to do that. I want to have this experience. I'm going to go and achieve that. I want to go and try something and trying new things, and because I find them interesting to talk to, and I get motivated by that. And I go, oh, actually, you know what? That encourages me to double down on my goals. So my why is about unleashing potential. And why is that something important? It's so you can have an amazing life. I want you to have an amazing life. And so that's my personal why. That's you can kind of understand how I'm now driven and why I do what I do, particularly with like going live on YouTube and LinkedIn. Lots of people choose not to do this. I choose to do this because I get to read the comments and I get to read the messages from you guys when you basically send me a message and say, hey, I was really inspired. I set myself a goal and I'm working towards it and I can see myself achieving it. And I can see I've reached some milestones on that journey. And I'm like, that is amazing. That is so good to get those messages. So if you do want to take the time to send me a direct message, either on Instagram or LinkedIn, please go ahead and do that, because I love hearing those success stories, even if I wasn't involved. But if I was involved, it also gives me bragging rights that I was part of your success and I helped you accelerate your journey along your journey to achieving your goals and success. That's what I want for you. So, but here at Best Practice as a business, we're all about helping organizations to be great places to work, great places to buy from, and great places to invest in. So finding your why, there's a process. And so we can kind of talk about that. We can talk about the quick and dirty ways, where we can talk about the kind of more strategic and psychological ways to go about finding your why. The first thing I'd recommend you do, if you haven't done it already, is get yourself a copy of this book by Simon Sinek. We'll post the link to his viral TED Talk video on the golden circles in the comments. So one of the team that's watching can jump on YouTube and get that link, and we'll drop that in the comments and in the description. And so I think this is really great. He has a sequel to this book called Finding Your Why. He has a sequel to that book called Infinite Games. But I think, start with why, and obviously finding your why helps. If you know what your why is, then you can start with why. But I think it's important when you're starting meetings, you're starting conversations, you're communicating with people, I think it's important to kind of talk about your why first, because then things fall into place for them in the narrative they're telling themselves in their head. Okay, so if you're somebody who's struggling with your purpose or direction or what to do in life, a really quick and dirty way to find your passion or what you're interested in is to look at your internet browser history. And if you look at your internet browser history, it will show what you're interested in. So there are clearly, because there's internet browser history and there are websites and there is information you're consuming, there are clearly people making money out of doing that thing because they put information up on the internet. So the next question is, what are the different jobs that people do around those websites and that information you've been looking at on the internet? And start thinking about how you could have a career in that industry, because that's the quickest and dirtiest way to find what you're passionate about. So if you're doing something over here and when you go home at night, you don't browse that, then that's giving me an indication of what you're interested in and what you're passionate in. And if you could be doing that every day, it wouldn't feel like work. And that's the whole goal. So me doing this right now doesn't feel like work. I tell you what feels like work is when I've got to get in the car and go to an on-site meeting. For me, that feels like work. And I don't really want to do that much more. But doing this for you guys and having you guys come on, and good morning to everybody that's jumped on. I can see you guys there, on people watching on YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, you can't see the comment section, you can click at the top and view on YouTube. It'll bring you out of our training academy and into the YouTube platform. You can click on that, watch on YouTube, and you can post comments. And I can see you guys watching live there on LinkedIn. It's great to have you guys on LinkedIn. So we've got a few people live on LinkedIn, which is excellent. Let me know where in the world you are watching from, because we do have a global audience, and it really excites me that we can kind of take our message to different places around the world. And it's kind of like going on an imaginary world tour. So say hi to each other and let me know where you are watching from around the world, even if you're watching the recording. If you're not watching this live and you are watching the recording and you got through this far, then still say hi, because I do see the comments and I get notifications. Okay, so the quick and dirty way, just to reiterate that, is something to do is whether you use Safari or Google Chrome, or whether you use Internet Explorer or Bing, or whatever the different browsers are, internet browsers, go and have a look at your history. Have a look at, if you're an Instagram user, for example, have a look at the pages that you follow. Go and have a kind of a macro look at what are the different kind of industries, what am I interested in, and what are the jobs that people do, how do people make money? All those companies will have administrative people and accounting people. So even if you're an accountant or an administrative person, you're like, oh, I'm not really a woodworker, or I'm not a fashion person. It's about the industry. You could get some work in that industry and you're going to be more motivated to be at work. But finding your why is really about, instead of telling somebody what you do, tell them why you do it. So the next time you're at a dinner party or you meet someone and they say, what do? You say, look, I'll tell you what I do, but before I do that, I'm going to tell you why I do it. So why do you do what you do? You might do it. You might say, well, I do my job because it provides money for my family. That's why I do what I do. Okay, great. That's your why. Your why is to provide life for your family. And so how and what you do is you organize activities on the weekend, right? So it's not just about going to a job and earning an income. Your how and why is about providing life for your family. And so really it's about, if you can say why you do what you do, and it does take practice and you might get it wrong the first time. If you ever want to test it with me, send me a direct message on LinkedIn or send me a direct message on Instagram, and you can say, hey, this is what I'm thinking about why I do what I do. So you can ask yourself, you can kind of go 7 questions deep. You can say, well, why is that important to you? Why do you do what you do? And why is that important to you? And why is that important to you? And why is that important to you? And that's a good way of going down the levels to confirm your why or your purpose. If you're, why do you do what you do? Because it's fun. Excellent. I like having fun. I like to enjoy my work, and I like to do work that's fulfilling and it's challenging. And I'm interested in this particular area. That's why I do what I do. So it's really, I get a kick out of it. I enjoy it. That's the whole idea of this. If you can, we're talking at the moment out in the global economy about the Great Resignation post COVID-19 pandemic. The Great Resignation. There's commentators saying that we're going to be seeing up to 40% of full-time employees resign in the next 12 months. Now, that sounds like a big number. However, what I will say, it's only 10% more than standard. So the average organization has 30% turnover, which means that 30 to 33% of employees resign every year or leave an organization every year. So we're talking 40%. So it's not a huge jump, but it could get to half. It could get to half. If you look around your organization and who works there, expect that 30% of those people under normal circumstances won't be there next year. But under the circumstances that are coming from the Great Resignation, 40 to 50% of people could be leaving organizations. So if we want organizations to be great places to work, we need to be onboarding people that joining your organization or being part of your organization, that's their why. That they're interested in the industry. They're interested in doing what you do. They're interested in the work. And more importantly, they're interested in the tasks that you have for them or that are part of the organization. And so you've got to ask yourself the same question. When you're going to an organization, are you interested in that industry? Does it show up anywhere in your browser history? Do you find it, are you a curious person and you find it interesting? Or is it just a job because you need money? If it's just a job because you need money, then you're going to have to figure out how to tough it out mentally, because you're not going to be doing something that you enjoy every day, and you're going to be looking forward to Friday, and your body's going to get all this anxiety and frustration through the week until you get to Friday. Then it's going to plummet emotionally on the weekend. Then your stress levels are going to come back up on Monday because you don't want to go to work on Monday. I get really excited waking up to go to work on a Monday because I get to continue to do the things I love to do. So I want to ask you a question in terms of finding your why. Those are the quick and dirty ways to do it. But more importantly, you can start looking at, well, you can ask on a slow program and a slow burn in terms of finding your why. Audit last week and have a look at last week and have a think about what did you do last week that was a waste of time and you didn't enjoy doing, because that's the opposite of your why. That's the exact opposite of your why. That's not my why. So if you can't find your why and you're still a bit confused, you can look at, well, what's not my why? I definitely don't want to do that. I definitely don't want to go driving all over the countryside anymore. I'm past that point in my career. I've really enjoyed the pandemic and I've really enjoyed the public health restrictions and the fact that I don't need to drive all over everywhere and be in the car for hours and hours at a time seeing customers. I can kind of see them in this virtual format. I was on a meeting this morning with people from 3 countries for 1 hour. I went for a walk. I walked in my house. I got a glass of water. I sat down at my computer and I met with 2 people for 1 hour from 2 different countries. It was fantastic. I didn't need to get on a plane and fly for 24 hours for a 1 hour meeting, which is what I was doing pre-pandemic. Literally the minute before the pandemic started, I was 24 hours of journey back from New York to Sydney, Australia. So I can tell you that's what I don't want to do. That's not my why. So my why is to continue to help improve people's lives and have an amazing life. So I can tell you, so ask yourself the question, what are you done with? I'm done with me. I'm done with corporate travel. I'm done with that. And I will do work. And it might mean that I sacrifice income, that I don't make as much money, and you might not make as much money, but I think your happiness is more important and your enjoyment is more important, because then you're a better person for the people you're around. And literally, it's about controlling income or controlling costs. So then it's a question now, particularly given the pandemic where remote work's more accepted, you could maybe move to a location, instead of living in an expensive location doing a job you don't like, move to a cheaper location and do a job you like and earn a little bit less money. That's the concept. So The second, third technique of finding your why is to look at what's not your why. So look at last week, think about what you didn't enjoy doing, opposite your why. Think about each week as things come up, are you enjoy doing it, yes or no? And if it's a no, it's in the not my why. If it's a yes, it's in your why. And over time, as you do that, maybe keep some notes, maybe keep a don't like doing, like doing. Write a list of your job. And then say, I really like doing this and I can do more of that and I can really help the organization if I do more of that. Write a list of the things you don't like doing and then go to your boss and say, look, this is stuff I really don't like doing. As we think about recruitment, if we can find somebody who really loves doing this, our organization is going to grow faster and I'm going to enjoy coming to work and I'll probably work more hours because I'm doing things that I enjoy. And I'm going to show up to work positive and I'm going to be productive and it's my strength and I'm really good at it and we're going to make more money as a result. And your boss will go, excellent. There may be tasks that you do need to do in the short term that you don't enjoy doing, but at least to bring some awareness to it. And maybe you could be part of that great resignation. Maybe you could be thinking about, actually, I'm not motivated about this industry. I don't like this industry. And actually, I'm not enjoying my job. Okay, what industries are you interested in and what would you enjoy doing? Start looking in that direction. And I guarantee when you start looking in that direction, you always find what you're looking for. It's like your car keys. You lose your car keys and you always find them in the last place you looked, right? When you start looking, it's like a new car comes out and all of a sudden you see them on the road everywhere, or something new happens, you see it everywhere. Once you get a bit clearer on actually what's an industry that you're interested in and what is work that you enjoy doing, and if you, okay, here's number 4 in terms of finding your why. I'm going to give you the week off next week, full pay. What would you do with yourself? A lot of people say, oh, I go sit on the beach or I go on holidays. That's excellent because you probably need a rest. You come back, you've got another week on full pay and you can't just be on holidays doing nothing, drinking cocktails and maybe gambling at a casino. Boy, I've got to giggle out of the boys. Have a think about what you would do with yourself. I know what I would do with myself if I was like on full pay next week. I'd go and drive boats, probably ferries. I'd go and drive ferries is what I'd do. I think I'd like to do that for a little while. I enjoy moving people around and meeting people, and I like being on the water. And I think being a ferry driver probably would have been a good career choice for me. You know, maybe tours. I like talking and I like entertaining people and I like educating people. And I was, for a period of time when I was finishing university, a canoeing guide, taking people kayaking, canoeing, and I really enjoyed that. So I want you to think about those kinds of things. Now, I could have picked a lifestyle in a beautiful location that's a little bit cheaper place to live where people want to come for holidays and go canoeing. And if I was to do it all again, maybe I'd be a bit more focused on that. So I want you to think about that. Okay, find time doing my studies. Hello, Stan Wall. We haven't seen you online for a little while. Good to see you. Hey, Stan, I see you're traveling again. What would you be doing if you didn't have to travel? Would you be, Stan Wall, of all the people there, is the guy that gets paid to ride jet skis. So let's just put that in context. Okay. Any comments on YouTube? No comments on YouTube. Okay. Look, I hope this has been helpful. Let me know in the comments the one thing in this video that's really stood out for you. What's one thing that I've mentioned that resonated with you that you could really use? If you're someone who's looking to find your personal why or the why of your organization, there's 4 different tips there that you can be using. So it's time to, pause and rewind the video and go back and watch them again. There are 4 great different ways you can help to use with finding your why. Now, I've got a favor to ask everybody. We've just launched the Best Practice Coaching Masterclass, which is helping you to be a more effective and more influential influencer and change agent in your organization, to help your organization to be a better place to work, more efficient, more effective, more productive, more profitable, helping your customers to have a better experience, helping your team members to have a better experience, which will ultimately help your company to be more profitable and more valuable. So it's a great investment. Now, I've got a favor to ask. We need some testimonials on our website for that course. So in exchange for that, I can't remember the retail price of the course, but what I can tell you is if you go and have a look at that course, and Vanessa's going to post the course link in the comments. Excellent. I'll get to that question in a second if a question comes up. go ahead and ask that question in the comments. Adrenal R6, if you user Adrenal R6, if you want to post your question in the comments, I'll ask it. I'll answer it. So if you insert the discount code COACH in capitals, you'll get a 70% discount. In exchange for that 70% discount, someone that's buying the course at 70%, I'll reach out to you and I'll speak to you because I'm going to be asking you for a testimonial, the truth about the course. It's an incredibly valuable course. It's been recorded and presented by our head of high performance, Sarah Long. We have a head of high performance here at Best Practice, helping all of our individuals really accelerate in their careers. The program is going really, really well. So what we've done is we've actually launched that program as a course. For anyone who's watching, who's kind of been a lead assessor, lead auditor, this is like next level. Because really what we want to be focusing on, if we really want to cut this down, and anyone watching this, is you want to be helping an organization to make money, you want to be helping an organization to save money, or helping an organization to be more attractive. If what you're doing is not doing one of those three things, you're going to continue to struggle. So help an organization to make money, like more sales, more marketing, more leads, more revenue. Help an organization to save money on a continual, perpetual basis, or help the organization to be more attractive. If the projects you're working on are not specifically focused on those three things, then you're going to struggle, particularly in small to medium-sized enterprises and even big corporates. If you're doing anything that's ancillary to that, if the organization contracts, it's going to get cut. You're going to get frustrated. It's going to be hard to influence people. So have a think about that, particularly about, like, I want to help your organizations make more money. I want to help everybody enjoy working there. And I want your customers to go, oh my God, that experience was amazing. Because then they attribute that to some part to Best Practice. Okay, we've got a question. Sorry to interrupt the topic. I saw the stream in my recommender. I was watching a lot of your content about implementing ISO 9001 because I've been delegated the task for auditing already. An excellent topic, and there are hundreds of videos. I'm not going to talk about it in this particular video. There is a whole playlist on our YouTube channel around that specific quality assurance topic. And there is also a bunch of great courses that you can purchase that teach beginners and teach people implementing management systems to systemize businesses on our training academy. So if you click that link above your comment on YouTube, that'll take you to our training academy where there's a whole heap of great courses with how to implement management systems that can help scale organizations. What we're talking about in this video, and particularly that masterclass that we just talked about where you can get a 70% discount, is going to be the whole toolbox of all of the tools that you need to implement all of those things in your organization. That's like the ultimate tool. But if you're just embarking on your journey of knowledge, there we go. The team's posted an ebook there for 9001 in the link straight below your comment. You can click on that and check that out. Okay. The very first thing, if you are an audience member that has looked at things like quality assurance and quality management, ISO 9001, the very first thing you need to do if you're implementing a management system in your company is define your why and campaign that around the organization. And we ask you to do that. So if you're getting audited and certified by our best practice certification business, one of our teams, that's the first thing they're going to ask you. So this is a relevant video for that. Okay. Are there any other questions? So Stan will go to work and ride a jet ski. Good plan. I think that could be actually a career goal. Get a job where you can ride a jet ski to work, I think would be fantastic. I just realized I'm tapping the table. So sorry to our podcast listeners that are hearing my thumping, and Luke's like, stop tapping the table. Okay. Pop the question in the comments and I'll see if I can answer it if it's relevant for the audience. So go ahead, drop your question in. And I'll try and make it relevant to the other people listening and watching. So it takes a couple of seconds. There's a bit of a lag, and then we'll see your comment. So Adrenal R6, if you want to throw your comment in or your question in, let me have a look at it. Okay, cool. All right, we're all good. We'll keep moving. So if you want to please check out the new Best Practice Coaching Masterclass. what we're starting to do is we're launching a campaign and we're starting to accredit best practice coaches to help in organizations. It's our way of kind of helping you to help your organization. We're running that coaching accreditation. It's an excellent course. Right now, you can get 70% off that if you use the discount code COACH, on the condition that I'm going to chase you down and I'm going to ask you for a testimonial. That 70% discount's only available now for another 24 hours. So if it's 24 hours past this video, the coaching code is not going to work for the 70% discount. It may still work for a smaller discount, but we're almost up to the number of testimonials that we need and the number of participants, and then we're going to go to full price. Okay, it's an excellent course. You can get a personal best practice accreditation to be a coach and to implement all the amazing things that we talk about here at Best Practice. So I'm really excited. One other small thing as an announcement, if you haven't seen it, check out kobisimmat.com. That's my new website, which has got all of my sales, marketing, and leadership training. And we've got some great courses being recorded for that website. Okay, we're back in flow now in terms of doing live streams, same time, same place next week. So expect to see that. You will get if you're on our email list, you'll get an email, but same time, same place. So the start time, which was about half an hour ago, next week, get ready for the live stream. We've got lots of great topics, lots of great content. If you haven't done so already, check out my LinkedIn profile and go and subscribe to the newsletter because we've got lots of great written articles coming out. We picked up 6,000 subscribers to that newsletter this week. It's been so amazing. The LinkedIn profile hit 30,000 followers this week, which I'm so grateful for because I appreciate the audience saying that they're happy to listen to me and happy to follow along with the great content that we're doing. So thank you very much for all the congratulations messages last night and the DMs. So I think that's just about it for us. Okay, hang on. What do we got here? Basically, I'm confused as to where to begin with tackling the task of auditing. Okay, I'm going to send you a direct message and I'll answer that question. If you have a look at that ebook link, that's actually got the answers to that question. So if you jump on that link, for anyone wondering where to start with a management system and how to get going, click that link that's there and it's got all the answers of how to get started. You just follow it page by page. We've set that up exactly for you. So that's going to answer your question. Okay. Thanks very much to everybody listening on Kobi Simmat Talking Business on the podcast. Thank you very much for everyone who joined on Best Practice TV on YouTube. More importantly, if you're watching live on my LinkedIn profile, I'm really excited. We've got lots of great content coming to you on LinkedIn, which I'm really excited about. If you're not following me on Instagram, jump across on Instagram, follow @Kobi Simmat for your daily posts of inspiration and content and reels and videos. And if you're a TikTok user, Cam's playing with a TikTok account, doing some fun stuff there too. Maybe some different topics. We were just talking about cryptocurrency and what's happening in the marketplace. So if you're interested in hearing about the things that I don't talk about that are mainstream, that are really exciting, then you can check out the TikTok profile. So if you don't see us next week, right here, same time, same place, you'll definitely see us next time on Best Practice TV. Bye for now.